Well, howdy people. This is down in Miami, Florida, about 5 days after the hurricane. Wanted to give a quick after action review of what I did, what worked and what didn't. Because this is fresh in my mind now. It was a Cat 5 hurricane, wiped the Florida Keys out, wiped our grocery stores out. Whole swaths of 6 million people were out of power, including me, and luckily I saw this coming. So real quick, if you notice, hurricanes have a tendency to go in a 4-year or 10-year pattern. It was 12, and something in this little noggin, a lot of research said, hey Kel, you better get prepared. So I bought the generator, did a lot of research on the generator, did a lot of research on the fuel types and how to work it, and how to wire it to your house, etc. Okay, let's talk about what happened. We're gonna do this short. Number one, get supplies ahead of time. For months ahead, they were throwing water at $2 for 24, $3 for 72. It was ridiculously cheap. 3 days in, before the hurricane, the shelves were empty. You couldn't find water for the next 5 days. Food, chips, all that stuff, just slowly start building your stockpile because you know it's gonna hit, and later you just eat it. This was a big one. Number two, protect your family first. You say, hey, you're like me, I'm a Southern Texan, I don't like seeing people suffer, I got a generator, come on, hook into me, let's go, let's rock it, yay, I'm a hero and a good Christian, bonus points. I got fucked. In a good way. Well, not like romantic, but real quick, I'm gonna give you a primer on why these big ass generators ain't that big ass. Okay, in your typical house, you have a refrigerator, a glass top stove, a hot water heater, a TV, and some lights. Do your daily stuff, right? All that stuff hooks to your breaker box. And in my case, I run my generator through my breaker box to power all my magical devices. My generator did it. I could actually turn on the mystery thing called the air conditioner. If only the air conditioner was running. I'm sitting pretty good. The trouble was, I ran extension cords to 2 houses. Oh hey, sure. My refrigerator's dying. I'm on life support. I'm on a breather. Who's gonna say no? Sure. 80-year-old men were bringing over extension cords, and nice guys over bringing extension cords. Well, I'm thinking, hey, I got 12,000 watts. You see those numbers? That's the actual wattage, amperage of the system. What it takes to plug and use that device, amperage, okay? At your generator, it has a self-protection of a breaker. So if it's too much power comes in, it'll trip the breaker just like your house. It's 30 amps. There's also a 30 amp breaker that I put in so to match that 30 amps. Notice how your refrigerator is 12, 13 for the range, 18 for the hot water heater. These 2 extension cords were doing the same thing I'm doing. What's 13 and 12? 25 times 3. True story. I'm in there cooking, so proud of everything. All of a sudden, my lights are dimming. My electric 12-inch fan. I'm like, what the living hell? I go knocking on the guy's door. His whole freaking house is lit up off my extension cord. I don't know what the hell many extensions he had running across there. He was eating all my power. All of it. I was cooking dinner and my stove flipped off. Girl wasn't happy about that one, let me tell you. Big engineer, huh? You know, whatever. So, know your values and what you can run at any given time. That'll save you a lot of trouble. All right. Rule number 3, fuel. I did all propane. I'm thinking I got, okay, the 100-pound propane that you saw actually holds 22 gallons. I figured if the 4-gallon propane, the small ones that you barbecue with, I should be able to get 6 of those, roughly. That should last me 3 days. Even though I tested it for an hour each on propane and gasoline before I put it into hurricane use, when I first turned it on after the hurricane hit and the power goes out, I'm like, da da da, generator man. I'm running out there on propane. Chicka 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 chicka. Chicka 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 chicka. Chicka chicka chicka. Wasn't even producing any watts at all. So I flip the switch, I go to gasoline, you know, it's running. Later, you'll find out when you don't stock up ahead, there's a thing called fuel shortages. And for 100 miles, you're not going to see a gasoline station open for at least 3 days. My friend, at least the one that was sucking on my power, he had 5 gallons of gas. And so we kicked it in the next morning, and people were using my generator. And then another guy came and asked. And I'm thinking, I got plenty of power. No, I didn't. I didn't have enough fuel by far, because the primary system I thought would be working failed me. It stuttered through for a couple of times. It ran for 9 hours once, okay. But after that, it just wasn't worth it. When I'd leave to go to work, you know, I'd come home, so I had to bail on propane. And I had 1 gas can, and I had to drive all over Miami to get gas, 5 gallons. On the turnpike, they have a toll station. You could get gas, but no gas cans. I have plenty of fuel, at least 4 to 6 of those 5-gallon gas cans. I think I would have been okay. And you got to have cash, so do the math. Number 4, it's a crisis. The whole block is out. Neighbors are going to ask you. How I had to finally reconcile this with myself is say, okay, you got to contribute fuel. I'm asking to go out and look for fuel. You're asking to look for fuel. You know, people were using my propane and gas and saying thank you. That costs about $2,000 to set that generator up into my house. You have to let them know clearly, look, I will give you one of my my big ice chest, and they do hold. That 100-gallon ice chest I have, 150-gallon quart one I have, I can keep food good for 6 to 7 days. I should have given them my ice chest first. You're good. If you want, you can run an extension cord, but a lamp and a fan. No appliances. I can't, you're gonna kill me. And I bought all this money, right? A fan and a nice drink, hey, it gets you through the day. Open up some windows, right? So set limits. Now, people got families to feed. Okay, you can run a 13-amp stove, but you do it from 5 to 6, I'll do it from 6 to 7. And let's make sure we let everybody know I'm about to go cook, okay? I was actually cooking dinner for my girl, and all of a sudden all my lights started dimming. The food, which was half done, I can't cook anymore because it's there. And all of a sudden I had to go knock on the door, and the guy next door, his house is lit up and they're cooking. Kiss my Texas ass, what the hell? Right? So, all right. That's the stories. Know your math so that you can figure what you can run at any given time. A 4,000 or 5,000 kilowatt generator will run this. Okay? If you got enough fuel, you're okay. You can get the basics. You'll be okay. But when I finally got it in my head this way, that's what worked the best. All right? The hurricane's over. I had enough water because I prepared ahead. I had enough food because I went before. About 3 or 4 days before a hurricane, people freak the F out. Don't be those people. Know how to tell your neighbors, yes, I'll share, but we got to do a schedule, and you got to give me fuel. I found fuel, you can find fuel. You got to, and most people will do it. And I really liked the hurricane. Everybody was doing it. And a lot of generators out there, and a lot of people were sharing. You just got to be fair and find fuel, right? And then family first. Protect your own assets first, because you're doing no good to you if everybody else is using you, and they were using me. You know, I need life support. I need my refrigerators dying. You know, what am I gonna do? Say no?
Walk in like you're walking in. Okay, stay right there.
So anyway, the after action, what I really thought went well was everything worked perfect. The first time I was really happy. So we'll see. Oh, hi.
Well,
The other half.
let me tell you what really happened. I'm going to make this really brief because remember our Hurricane Irma lasted a few days. But due to this generator that I've heard for on and on and on and on, and I learned a lot. Oops, Chloe. I learned a lot from him, which was great. And he is a genius, must admit. But the neighbors. And I had warned him. I said, guess what? And I said, be careful, because if you put this generator out there, everybody and their grandmother, including all the neighbors' grandmother, is going to want to plug into yours, because you're probably the only one with a generator, because all his neighbors did not approve of getting a generator. So, generator is on. The minute he plugged in, bing, bing, hurricane, we're playing dominoes, kicked his ass, I was happy. Then later on,
cheated.
No, I don't cheat. And so then later on, the hurricane's over. Oh, great. Knock on the door. Neighbor number one. Now, you think I could plug into your generator? Oh, sure enough. Of course you can. And I'm looking, I'm like,
I don't
well,
sound like that, by the way.
Yeah. No, not you. The neighbor next door. So do you think I could plug into your generator? I said, well, sure, why not? So I'm looking, I'm like, I said, well, if you plug into his generator, I can understand. Maybe for refrigerator. The guy said, solely only for the refrigerator. Okay, no big deal. All of a sudden, our lights started flickering on and off. I'm like, I wonder what happened there. Pop! All of them, pop! Guess what happened? One person plugged in, the next neighbor comes in, ding dong. I said, you think we could plug into your generator?
That's the one whose wife was on life support.
Yeah, she's on life support, and guess what? She's still living, so we did a good deed.
Karma points.
So, yes, yay. So then now, guess what? Guess what we don't have? Stove, refrigerator. Why? Because neighbor number one was lighting up his whole house like a freaking Christmas tree, and neighbor number two with the oxygen tank that his wife needed, which is okay.
A lot of amperage, yeah.
So now he's telling me, I don't understand what's happening. I said, well, I totally understand what's happening. It's, yeah, but it's supposed to be plugging in, let's say, hypothetically speaking, 60 watts, whatever it is, 60 amps. And I said, well, Mr. Cal, 60 times 3 is how much? And he's doing the math. He couldn't even calculate fast enough, so he said, oh, shit. I said, just saying. That's all I had to say. Thank you.
All right, kiss, kiss.
We lasted. We're still together.
We did it. Yay. So she survived. How many more times do we talk to you about a generator?
Okay, let's put it this way. I'm still hearing it. Even today, Hurricane Irma is over, Maria is over, and he still had me watch this guy hook up his generator from pieces. And I'm like, here we go again.
You know it, ladies. You love listening to it. All right, with that, shall we sign off?
Sign up.
I ordered in the end 6 of these. Now that's exactly what I wanted, metal. Solid. Good reviews. You know, as I prepare for Hurricane Irma, I get my storm shutters up. It'll be kind of boring because my neighbors have a bouncy house. Woohoo!